I usually walk on to a lot more applause than this. So don't be shy. If you like something, applaud. Good afternoon, London. All right. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. This is the fun part. Get relaxed. Don't take notes. Don't take pictures. This is the part you have fun, relax. She's relaxing. Thank you very much. So thank you to Ruth for giving me the opportunity, because I've been trying to sell this spiel of, yes, I can do AI and PM. I mean, yeah, sure, B2B, B2C, but stand-up comedy, do you want to not talk about this? And there's no talks on stand-up comedy and product management. Surprised. Hopefully this is the first one and start something. So this is my name, right? In Hindi, it translates to light of utmost happiness. Any Indians in the crowd? Very few? Yeah, get that? So what you don't know is the Anand last name is the usual common last name suffix for anyone who's quite enlightened. The gurus who have these wonderful ideas about humanity and peace and world. And when I looked at my last name, that's a lot of pressure, right? That's a lot of pressure to deal with. So it's like, okay, so I can't do the utmost happiness. I can sort of do the little happiness, right? So you can almost say I had a last name worthy of doing stand-up comedy. All right, so that's how I got into it. It's not how I got into it. It's a different story, different talk. But I thought a lot about how to do this talk. So the most often question I get, so I tell people I do three things, right? I do stand-up comedy, I do product management, and I do AI. They always ask me, tell me a joke. You don't ask me when I tell you I am a PM. You don't ask me when I tell you I do AI. Nobody asks me on deep neural networks or reinforcement learning, but they always ask me about telling a joke. It's not like I ask the waiter, hey, how do you wait? Or a stewardess, or an executive or a sales guy, how do you sell? I don't ask that, but somehow, and nobody asks a dancer to dance, but they ask a singer that, right? And they ask a comedian that. So I'll do the most obvious thing. I'll start with a bit of stand-up, right? And then walk into product management, right? So as I mentioned before, I've traveled quite a bit. I lived in America for 6 years. And America was an interesting time, right? So when I was there, I had Barack Obama, and I heard a lot about, yes, we can, yes, we can, yes, we can. I did 4 years of that, and then Donald Trump came and said, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. And 2 years of living there, I promised myself I'll never go to a country ruled by a white man and blonde hair. And then I came to Boris Johnson. I checked, no man here has white hair and blonde hair. So, I'm inclusive in that way. And so when I was outside the UK, I thought a lot about why did the British go all over the world? Like the British Empire spread literally all over the world. And what drove them? What inspired them? What made them go all over the world? It took me 6 months to figure out the answer. It's the weather. It's the weather. So, when somebody asks me, how is it living like in the UK? It's like living in the bathroom. It's cloudy, it's sunny, it's warm. And again, the thing asks me, how do you know you're a local or a tourist? A tourist carries an umbrella. A local carries a raincoat. Because they know it's always going to rain. They always know to anticipate that. And most of the things growing up in India didn't make a lot of sense to me. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. For example, you use a common phrase here, make hay while the sun shines. In India, you don't make hay while the sun shines. You go hide under a tree. Because India isn't blessed with the weather you have here. India has two weathers, hot and really hot. All right? When the sun shines, you go hide, because otherwise you get this chocolate brown complexion I have. Right? And another thing I didn't realize was every cloud has a silver lining. First of all, no clouds in India. Right? No clouds in India. It's hot baking out there. And this is why I realized that the reason you say every cloud has a silver lining is because there are so many clouds here, you have to develop a positive attitude. That's the only key way to do it. Right? So I'll end the stand-up bit, I'll go to the walk bit, but I'd be amiss if I didn't do a PM joke. So during the pandemic, I started thinking about what do my family, what do my people around me think I do, right? So I asked my son, what do you think I do? And this is what he said. He talks a lot. That's all he does. He talks, right? And, that's my wife saying that, sorry, not my kid. And I asked my kid, what does he do? He's like, he laughs a lot. That's all he does. Every Zoom call he goes, he's laughing. Then I ask my, my customers. He negotiates a lot. Then I ask my developers. He persuades a lot. And this is my manager. Any guess what my manager says? In it? British term. Right, so now that I have, the reason I did it this way is because you need to establish some level of trust that I can do stand-up. So when I did this, I actually wanted to play a YouTube video of me doing stand-up. Then I was like, I'm already here. Let's do some of my greatest hits and see how the audience reacts. So good that the reaction came out well. Now let's get into the interesting part, right? So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the 4Ds, right? The discover, the design, the develop, and the deploy. And then we'll talk about takeaways. And the reason I decided to use this framework is because this is how I do stand-up comedy. This is how I write jokes, this is how I perform, and this is how I go about doing the business I do. So full disclosure, I have a full 9-to-5 job that is product management and AI. It's hard enough. I have 99 problems there. Stand-up is something I do over the weekends. I've been doing this for about 10 years on and off now. So over the years, I figured out a good framework to think about this. And this is, so what I'm going to do is, what I wanted to do was what the person did before me, which is have nice slides, nice pictures, nice colors, these GIFs and all that. But I'm not that creative. Not the creative with stuff, So I said, okay, let's throw words at it, because as a comedian, you write a lot. So apologies for the not beautiful slides you're going to see. Hopefully they'll be useful. So let's talk about the 4Ds. What are those, right? Discover, design, develop, and deploy. And each aspect answers different questions, because when looking at the discover and design, you're answering 3 questions. Why? Why am I doing it? Why am I building the product? Why are they buying it? Why am I funny? Why are you laughing? Why? And that's the first question to answer. And who? Who is in my audience? Who are you people? Right? What do I know about you? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Why aren't you laughing? Why is anybody laughing, not laughing? Why is there a small laugh? Why is there a little laugh? Why is there a guffaw? Why is there a long laugh? And there's a short laugh. I'm bothered about these things. Why does the product funnel work that way? Why am I getting drop-offs at the engagement? Why is the retention not working? It's important to know. And what I'm looking for here is, as in product, to discover and design the right thing, to solve the right problem, to find the right level of information I need to be who I am and not go solve world peace. That product that everybody loves and works for everybody and solves everything? Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. I've written no joke that works for everybody all the time. Thank God. Because then I'm talking to the same people all the time, which is not good for me. Right? And then we'll talk about develop and deploy, because when you write a joke, in your head it's great, right? All the jokes I write in my head are great. But it's like having an opinion. It's when that meets the fact of laughter, I figure out how it works. And then you refine. That's what you do. You deploy and you develop and you figure out what to do. And then the key focus there is to do the thing right. Because you've done the discovery and design right. And then your questions are how and when. How do I develop this? When do I deploy this? When do I learn from whom? So what I'll try and do for you is compare the stand-up world on how I do something and contrast that against the PM world. Again, the first time, if I may. Let's see how that goes. So, discover. So, one of the key things I always thought about stand-up world is, when I started out back in 2010. And the key thing was, I wanted to be funny. I wanted to be hilarious. I wanted to be a comedian. Back in India, stand-up comedy hadn't even started. Probably one of the only stand-up comedy groups back in Bangalore when I started it. And I was full of myself. I still am. So if you ask a lot of people. But I wanted to be funny. I wanted to write jokes. I wanted you to laugh. I wanted you to think I'm amazing. I. The focus was always I. But here's the fun part. You all didn't give a damn about that. Because you wanted to laugh. You wanted to laugh. I wanted to be funny. You wanted to laugh. Big difference. So my focus shifted from, let me make them laugh and then I'll be funny. And then I'll be hilarious. And then I'll be called again and again. Same thing. I want to ship features. All my OKRs were about, I'm going to ship this feature on this time and it's going to have this much sales, this much revenue. What do you care about? How many benefits are you going to get? Are you going to get more benefits over a period of time? Because once you get the benefit, are you going to ship the product and throw it away? Or are you going to buy another product? You don't know. The focus is important. And why does the audience laugh? Why do you laugh? Why do you laugh? Why do you not laugh at a joke in the morning? Why do you laugh at the joke in the evening and not laugh? Why do product managers laugh? Why do dads laugh? Why do moms laugh? Who are you people? Why do you laugh? And the more time I spent there, the more it helped me. And when you are usually building a product that is either innovative or competing with someone else, you're asking two questions. How is it better than the other person's products? Or how is it better than the way of doing things today? Because remember, your customers want benefits. They're buying benefits. When you pay for my show, you're buying laughter. You're buying laughs. You're not buying my jokes. It's not the same thing. Not the same thing. You're not buying my jokes, you're buying your laughter. That the framing helps. And why me? Why me? And it's, like I said, it's a different story altogether, but to me, I do stand-up comedy because humor humanizes. Humor humanizes. When I talk about Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and everybody, I make him part of the conversation. I bring it up to a level where we can have a conversation about it. Sometimes it's a very tough topic to talk about. The audience is not Indian here. Back in India, I talk a lot about dowry, the part where the women pay money to the husband's family to get married to them. I rip them apart. And I can do that because I didn't take dowry. But the audience typically has, and they don't like it. But I make fun of it. It's a very enjoyable experience. The women love it, obviously, and the men don't like it. But tough topics, I humanize the topic for them. I have not gone to solving world peace and equality and diversity as of now, but I'll get there sometime once I solve my AI products. But why your product? Why is that your product gives people more benefit than something else they can do? Why is the old way of doing things not good enough? Because the moment you define your product strategy, your roadmap to be benefit-centric and saying why your way, your product, your benefits, the string of benefits tied together, what you call user journey, is benefits, that's when the ring happens. So let's say you've done the why. Who? That's my customer research. That's my persona mapping. That's what I'm worried about all the time. Because I have some jokes at the end, you'll see. You never want to punch down. You always want to punch up. Never make the joke on the secretary. Always make the joke on the boss. They make enough money and they can take it. Yeah, they can take it. Make the joke on the rich people, right? Because they have enough money. Make fun of the celebrities because they've taken enough flack, enough surprises already. But you learn that. So the more discovery I do, who is my audience? The dads, the moms, the product managers. It is product damagers. It's not a spelling mistake. If you're not careful enough, you could be one of those, right? Wannabe bosses. Most of you are on. And, disinterested drag-alongs. Who's your plus one who didn't want to go to the stand-up comedy thing? Happens. Your date is going wrong. You're pissed at your date and you don't laugh. Hey, man, I'm here making jokes. Laugh at my jokes. You had a bad day. Who cares? But sometimes drag-alongs happen. So how do I write jokes with these audience profiles in mind and make sure that the jokes land all the time? Similarly, who are your customers? How much time do you spend in researching who's your customer base? Do you spend that time? Do you think about that so much? I'm not, I'll use the word now, this is the problem space. The more time I spend in defining who my customer is, their persona, their benefits, their needs, their wants, their worries, the better I can solve their problem. So, yeah, Gen Z, Gen X, Gen God knows what. I work in AI and the field changes every day. I feel sorry for other people who work in real customers and they have to come up with all these definitions. My life is hard, your life is hard too, because you don't know what the profile looks like. It's always, people say, it's like throwing a ball and catching it. No. You got to throw the ball to the place the customer will go to so that you can catch the person when it gets there. This is persona mapping. This is customer profiling. All right, you've done the discovery, right? This is a fun slide. I have a formula. What's comedy? Tragedy plus time. Tragedy plus time. That will be an earworm in your ears, in your brains when you go home today. Comedy is tragedy plus time. It's not funny when it happens. It is sad when it happens. But afterwards, you laugh about it to say, my God, what was I thinking? It was not that bad. It was okay. My job as a successful stand-up comedian is to extrapolate enough tragedies for all of you dads and moms and product managers and damagers, and then spin a good tale around the tragedy so that you laugh. All I'm doing is extrapolating and thinking about all the tragedies, all the tragedies that moms and dads and have, so that I can make you laugh. Same thing for companies. This is my own formula, 3 C's. You can have your own. But early on in the product journey, especially with AI, I wanted to have a clear framework on how do I talk about product, what do I talk about strategy? Because stand-up comedy is brutal, right? I can't tell a 5-minute story and expect to laugh at the end. You'll zone out. You'll typically zone out. So how do I get it punchy? How do I get the jokes in a minute, minute and a half with the fewest words possible and get it across to you? Same way in strategy. All my strategy slides begin like this, 3 C's. How might we help customers realize benefits, keeping in mind companies' constraints, faster, better, and cheaper than the competition? Sometimes the competition is external, it's an actual company. Sometimes the competition is the old way of doing things. But this kind of framework helps me think about how do I stay true to my strategy and to the products I build, which gives me a good framework. But the key formula hopefully you take away is empathy. Because like I said, you punch up, you punch down. Say imagine you're at a bar doing comedy. Who comes to the bar? People after work. They've had a long day. Yeah. How many bosses come to the bar? Very few, because in the fancy hotels, drinking mocktails with really important people. It's the worker bees like you and me. They come to the bar, right? Then the question is, what are they thinking? What are they frustrated? They're frustrated about their bosses. How much empathy can I develop for them, with them, about them? Then the jokes land. Then the jokes become funny. Because you're like, oh, he gets me. Oh, he's like me. Oh, he thinks like me. That's when it gets funny. You build the trust. Jobs to be done. This is a cliche, outcomes. I use it even for my comedy. I was expecting, wondrous applause because JTBD to stand-up comedy I don't think has been done before. But it is true. Think about it, right? In my world, what is a laugh? It's something that comes at the end of a string of words. That's it. You laugh, blah, 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 blah. You laugh. That's it. The outcome is the laughter. Question is, how do I get to the laughter? A big laugh, a small laugh. I can cuss. I can use swear words. Not my style. I don't want to laugh like that. But the outcome is the laugh. Same thing in product. We always want to optimize our outcomes. I want it to be funny. We forget you wanted to laugh. I want to ship benefits. I want to meet my OKRs. I want to meet my sales revenue numbers. I. You wanted benefits. You wanted to laugh. Your customers wanted benefits. This kind of reframing of the problem helps me a lot in thinking. And that is my metric. That is true. Laughs per minute. You lot don't realize this. It's being recorded. I'm going to go back now and analyze how many laughs I got per minute. That's the metric. Unbiased, unfettered, very objective. Did your lot laugh? After how many words? There were head nods. I'll capture them there. Laughs per minute. So the general rule is you should get about 6 to 7 laughs per minute for you to get callback often. If you do a HBO show, 10 laughs per minute. 10 laughs per minute is 1 laughter, 6 seconds. That's a lot. That's very, very tough. Big comedians do it. So they weave around it because attention spans are getting shorter. You can always do Netflix. You can browse to someone else. So they now are evolving into the storytelling form. Longer stories, bigger laughs. But the average remains same. For me, both sides you see lovability because here's the thing about laughter, right? It's contagious. 10 of you laugh. The remaining 5 feel left out. Why are they laughing and why am I not laughing? They laugh. So all I have to do, secret, make 10 people laugh. And if they laugh their hearts out and they're shaking their heads and expressing themselves, other people will laugh even more. Lovability. It's your lovability that will give you likability. Same thing in products. You don't need a product to be sold or liked by everybody, because it will never happen. But are enough people loving your product to go and refer it to other people out there? I'm always looking for lovability. Setup is better than let up. So I'll tell you a joke now. Would you lot believe this if I said Donald Trump and me have 3 things in common? All right, I'll go through them. First thing is, he and me don't smoke. Never smoked a cigarette in our lives. He and me have never had alcohol. He and me don't lie to our wives. Well, technically, I don't lie to 1 wife, he's not lied to 3 wives. Now, why is this joke I told you right now? When I did this joke first, when he was president, I got a much bigger reaction. Much bigger reaction. And I tried different things, right? Like, I'm a little more well-dressed now. That's not how usually I dress up when I do comedy. I'm a little more relaxed, jeans and t-shirt and everything. So when I do this joke, I'm as scruffy and as not Donald Trump looking as I can. Because then the reaction is much bigger. Much bigger. Setup is important. Question is context. Where did your users begin to use the product? That context is important, because each time I have to launch a feature, the more times I forgot about the context, I lost my customers out there. So context is far more important than content. And guess who I optimize for all the time? Organizers. It may seem counterintuitive, why not the audience? Because guess what? Sometimes you get a tough audience. You get a tough audience. But if I do right by the organizer, I get to satisfy the organizer will call me back. And this is the real conversation I've had with the organizer. He's like, look man, you're not funny. All right, you're not funny, but you don't cuss, you don't swear, you stay off taboo topics. You'll always come back. Mostly harmless. Read the book, anyone? Mostly harmless. I always get called back, because what do I want? I want stage time. I want fewer, better jokes. I want fewer, better jokes. Similarly, is the customer I want to get to win, not the stakeholder. They are important. They pay you the money, the bills to keep it there. But if the customer doesn't love it, you won't have there. Now, how would it help me in my day-to-day job? My meetings are better. My discussions are better. Guess why? Because my head always thinks, what do I know about the people in the meeting? What do I know about the customers using my product? I always think, analyze. Hey, you would not believe this. This speech, in my head, I've done it 46, 50 times. Because I can't let go. I love what I do. I love stand-up. I love what I do. So innately my head starts thinking, oh, I do so much research for my stand-up. Why should I not do it for my job? My meetings are better. They're crisp. My pitches are better. They're more crisper. They're more fun, innovative, humorous, because it's a transferable skill. Stage time. That's my key metric, stage time. How much stage time can I get that will help me get there, and how much benefits can I drive? Not the features, the benefits, the laughter there and the benefits you get there. One of the mindsets change that was that when people don't like a joke, initially I was thinking they didn't like me. No, they don't like my joke. They don't like my joke. It's not like they don't like your features. They don't like the benefits they're getting from it. They don't like they're getting the benefits. So go focus on the benefits to get there. And what's my MVP? What's my product market fit? Daytime stand-up comedian. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't go to a bar. That market is completely inaccessible to me. I've never had alcohol in my life. I don't know what people feel like when they're drunk. Because usually they laugh a lot when I tell a joke, but I don't know they laugh because they're drunk or my joke is funny. I don't know that, and I would never know that, so I'd never go there. So what's my MVP for me? I'm a product manager, AI. Product market fit. It came to that point. Takeaways. First one, ABT. Always be testing. Always be testing. I'm testing now. I fretted about what clothes to wear today, because it's not how I do stand-up, right? And for the first time realized how women feel when they dress up. True thing. Because suits are more for PMs, but I do t-shirt and jeans for a stand-up comedian. What should I do? Okay, I'll wear a suit. I tested with the slides today, if you notice. I didn't have one of those fancy GIFs and everything, because I felt that even without I'm there in the room, you lot should still be able to get value from it. Should be able to be repeatable and scalable. Always be testing. Similarly, with the product feature, I'll tell you, we were at Microsoft shipping a product. We figured out that how you use the product, lighting conditions, you had a bad experience. So my AI brain is thinking, okay, let's capture more data, do machine learning, and get back. 3 months, $2 million, and 6 people. Designer said, tell them how to use the damn product. I'm like, you going to tell the users how to use the product? Are you out of your mind? Be nice to them. Let's run a test. Very smart lady. Very smart lady. Thank God she was there. Saved me 2 million, saved me 3 months. She had such a fun way of telling people. She had a cartoon and animation. When you use it like that, it laughed and smiled. Problem solved. Always be testing. Always be benefiting. Always be benefiting. Laughs. Laughs, 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 not jokes. I'm not the most important person in the room. You lot are. Right? Benefits. And lastly, if you take nothing else away, PBI. Please be interesting. Please be interesting. Boring is taken. I speak a very weird accent. I'm not around here. I'm never around from wherever I am, right? I'm always out of place every place I go, right? But I started to leverage that and say, please be interesting. Boring is taken. And YOLO, right? Because stand-up comedy is a performing art. Music is a performing art. Dance is a performing art. Some of you may have those skills. Think about how you can transfer that and bring it in. Maybe you use a non-performing art. You're better at writing and thinking. Leverage that. Bring that to the fore because boring is taken. Thank you very much.
All right, so once again, jump into Slido with your questions or your jokes, if you have any. No tomato emoji, though. That's not allowed. One thing that you said that really struck me is shifting from wanting to be funny to looking at people want to laugh. That's so huge when you're building your personas.
Yes.
I make content for YouTube, and we switched from looking at power users to beginner users. And it's amazing when you stop prescribing to people and finding, like, what do they want? That's such a good mind shift.
Like, one thing I say is, people, like, we are all questions, right? Everybody's a question to the other person. So when you look at me, what are the 3 things you look at, right? Indian guy, stout, funny. People ask me, how are you? Round, brown, and funny. How are you? Right? So you always look at the unanswered questions people are thinking about when you look at them and then answer them. Oh, he's so smart. That's exactly what I was thinking. You're being racist, not racist is a whole different thing here. But I'm saying that's what I look like. You can't take that away. But the more unanswered questions you can anticipate and answer, the funnier you get. And that's how I went from I want to be funny to I want you to laugh and put you at the center of it. Thank you again. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers. Thank you.